Distinguished delegates, dear friends and colleagues, since we do not have to review the report, we have now arrived at the closing of this 66th session of the WHO Regional Committee for Europe. As we have instituted the practice of having only one speaker at the closing ceremony session, I have the pleasure now to give the floor to the delegate of Italy, who has kindly agreed to speak on behalf of us all. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Chair. Regional Director, colleagues, friends, I'm here today to abuse first of my privilege to close the session by thanking you all for your support and trust in re-electing Italy to the Executive Board after several years. So thank you very much. Secondly, and most important, I'd like to add a final resolution to our intensive days. It is a resolution based on the evidence that sometimes not only miracles happen, but also happen when they are needed, at the right time and to the benefit of the right people. Therefore, we, members of the 66th Regional Committee, having considered the usual horrible weather affecting Copenhagen at the end of September, taking note of the fact that the new Nordic diet may take some additional time and refinement to become attractive, both in quantity and variety. Recognizing that the Euro region hosts some of the largest, most diverse, often competing and skeptical national communities in the world. Understanding that material resources and stocks cannot buy intangible, value-based public goods, such as trust, confidence, team spirit, cohesion, partnership, converging on the need and opportunity to build a common, shared, equitable environment of peers, recalling all the work done during these days, adopt a resolution of thanks conveyed to the regional director and her staff for having made the following miracles happen. Excellent weather and Mediterranean-like outdoor life conditions for all. Productive, friendly, and warm in-house working environment for all. Healthy feeding opportunity and acceptable coffee sources for all, when needed. Building up of team spirit and a sense of belonging for all. Best of each individual nationality made collectively available, so that we did not incur into the usual nightmare of relying on Italian organizers, for instance, and other partners' role that I'm not going to disclose, Chair, as we don't want to offend anyone. But I make reference to https://plume.net, the European joke, with French translation, for reference for all. You will find there a description of what a nightmare is and what paradise may look like. Collaborative atmosphere that contaminated positively even the most reluctant delegations who found areas of convergence and adopted most difficult decisions, compromising successfully to identify acceptable solutions for all. Smiles for all, despite tensions, financial dialogues and arguments, and rigidities that were successfully overcome with a very constructive team spirit instilled into all. A message of hope, trust and confidence to all, that we will succeed and we will be able to make it, despite the innumerable challenges we face and the innumerable resolutions we are called to adopt. I wanted to complete this into a real decalogue, taking also advantage of the Holy See's presence to ask for the 2 additional miracles to make 10, but decided to leave the floor to your own imagination and possible further contribution, with a mix of top-down and bottom-up strategy to comply with individual geographic, ethnic, financial preferences and orientations. For the sake of transparency and accountability, the incomplete list of miracles will be published in the relevant website of WHO for restricted consultation over the next 10 minutes. In conclusion, I think we can all agree to express our gratitude for the endurance and the resilience with which we have been conducted to enjoy a week-long of 36-hour daily work. We survived. And perhaps this has been the best and most productive miracle of all. Very few, if no defaulters, with very high adherence by all. Thank you again, Regional Director and all staff. We shall overcome, all united.
Thank you very much, distinguished delegate of Italy. I can assure you that when you are getting bored or tired or in the heat and sun, too much sun, then you are always welcome to Iceland. And cool you down and get some energy. Thank you very much. I now give the floor to the Regional Director, our dear colleague, Dr. Jakob.
Excellencies, Ministers, dear representatives, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to have this opportunity at the end of this productive regional committee to look back over the discussions of this week about many important issues that are affecting health development of the populations, women, men, adolescents, children, whom we all serve. The Regional Committee gives us a unique opportunity not only to debate and decide the strategic directions for our work and to receive your guidance, but also to inspire the collective vision and to re-emphasize the shared values towards better health and well-being across the whole European region. Most importantly, at this meeting, we could experience how much our joint vision, Health 2020, has been strengthened and reinforced through our commitment to the SDGs. WHO's unique legitimacy and convening power is based on the strength of its governing bodies, on the open discussions, on the negotiations, on reaching consensus on policies and strategic actions, and aligning them with the global priorities. You have experienced and practiced responsible health diplomacy during this regional committee on some of the very difficult issues. I would like to thank you for your willingness to cooperate, and as I said, it was amazing to see the unity of the regional committee and the spirit of the consensus which emerged on the most difficult issues, which is a strength of our regional committee. We, the Secretariat, aim for high-quality delivery and assistance to our member states with full transparency and accountability. We hope that this regional committee was an illustration of this. Your contributions, as well as your criticism, are of great value to us in taking our work forward. Before I take up some of the important and key issues, let me express two important thanks. I must thank the Standing Committee and all its members, and especially the Chair and Vice Chair, for their active engagement, strategic guidance, and oversight function in the preparations of this regional committee. I also must thank our patron, Her Royal Highness Crown Princess Mary of Denmark. I must thank our host, the Minister of Health of Denmark, as well as the President of this meeting and the Executive President. They have all made a great contribution to our discussions and I thank them all most warmly. For our strategic discussion, the Princess's strong call for women's empowerment was very, very important. Ladies and gentlemen, this year a new dimension has entered our work. The overarching strategic context of the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. And we are proud to have had a head start through your vision, Health 2020, with a focus on equity and governance, which allows us to move straight into implementing the key SDG challenges, leave no one behind. We must and we can leave no one behind in this region. That is why I have highlighted in the past, and I repeat it all over again, that health is a political choice. Our work must include dealing with poverty and the social determinants of health, achieving health rights and gender equality for all, stigma and discrimination. We have addressed these great challenges through the different action plans you have adopted this week. Our agenda this year reflected the challenges we face in our societies at this point in time: health development across the life course, for refugees and migrants, for sexual and reproductive health, for women's health and well-being, for communicable and non-communicable diseases, and for integrated health systems. We also reviewed progress in a number of work areas, for example, in communicable diseases, and the major threats that we discussed in the agenda, and they were also mentioned by our Director General in her speech, namely HIV and hepatitis. We look carefully at the opportunity that are provided by the SDGs to move forward and to move towards a more strategic approach and integrated effort that takes all our work beyond the present series of documents. This is a message that I heard very clearly from you during this week, and we will work hard to provide you with such an approach and align and simplify reporting and accountability with a special view to synergies that can be achieved. This also came up very strongly in the discussions today on the program budget. We will also develop a roadmap for the implementation of the SDGs through our action plans, and we shall report back to you next year in 2017. We live in an exciting time for health. Global interest and commitment to health is increasing. In her address, our Director General highlighted the involvement of the United Nations General Assembly in several important health issues, which have been considered here by the Regional Committee as well, in previous years antimicrobial resistance, this year the ongoing challenge of HIV and AIDS, non-communicable diseases, as well as migration and health. She also highlighted the leadership contributions over time of the European region, taking advantage of opportunities and tackling many of these health issues within an all-determinants framework. I do believe that with the support and commitment of the Regional Committee, the leadership of the European region will continue not only in the European region but also in global health development. We will continue also to search for innovations to take us forward. Ladies and gentlemen, the World Health Organization is changing. The reform of the organization continues, with improvements in our planning and business systems, and particularly in compliance. Of great importance is the development of a one WHO organizational approach to emergency preparedness and response, to surveillance, and particularly to the implementation of IHR. The eyes of the world will be on us to get this right, and we are determined to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank to all the partners, the civil society, for their active participation during the Regional Committee. This shows the strong collaboration and commitment for a joint work. I encourage all of you to work with us in partnership for the implementation of the many decisions that we took this week. Lastly, I must say that the government of Denmark has been a fantastic host in the wonderful city of Copenhagen. We have very much appreciated not only your hospitality, but also the leadership and commitment. On my behalf, and on behalf of the staff of the Regional Office for Europe, I would like to thank you, your government, and your staff for the great support in making this meeting a memorable event, even organizing a fantastic weather, as we heard it also from Italy, and last but not least, the reception in Louisiana on Monday. Thank you for that. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to thank the WHO staff for the good preparations for this meeting throughout the year. Many have been working behind the scenes to make all this possible. And so, as we leave this meeting, we have an optimistic global framework and relevant regional strategies and instruments that are in place. We look forward to working together with you throughout the year to implement, and then see you here and meet you here next year in September 2017, although it will be in Budapest, not here in Copenhagen. And looking forward to that. And thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Susanna Jacob, our regional director. Thank you very much. Before closing this meeting of the Regional Committee, I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart, distinguished delegates, for your excellent cooperation, your very friendly and positive approach to all the work that we have done over the past few days. It was an honor for my country and for me personally to chair this meeting. I wish to take this opportunity to thank you, Dr. Jakob, the staff of the Regional Office, the Executive President, the Deputy Executive President and Rapporteur for your active work during the session, the SCRC for its continuous guidance and support, and for its input to the session, the interpreters and all those who worked hard to prepare the session of the Regional Committee, making it a very successful event. On behalf of the committee, I wish to express our full and continuing support for the efforts of the Regional Office. Thanks also goes to the Member States for the full collaboration. She is always teaching me something, and I enjoy it. Throughout the year, in jointly preparing a very successful meeting and for their preparations for and active participation in the debates. We also very much appreciate the excellent spirit of the shall we say it together? Collaboration. Together.
Collaboration.
1, 2, 3. Collaboration.
Collaboration.
Yeah. Shown by our partners in working together for the benefit of the health and well-being of the population of Europe. But before closing this session, let us look at some of its highlights. And we have a video, I believe. Yeah. Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, together we have achieved a lot. Europeans continue to live longer and healthier lives than ever before. Differences in life expectancy and mortality between countries are diminishing. This shows that our strategies work.
When you ask someone what the most important thing in life is, the answer is more often than not health and happiness. Although two answers, it's hard to imagine one existing without the other. And studies show that a person's health is one of the strongest predictors of happiness. I applaud your dedication to improving health and well-being of every person in this richly diverse region.
I really enjoyed the 66th session of the regional committee. I had the feeling that we were only one team with a big spirit and a sense of engagement and commitment that all the delegates proved to have.
This region is actually, if not the best region. And I'll tell you why. This region, with its largely affluent populations and stable democracies, has always been a front-runner in matters of health, addressing problems that would later become important for the rest of the world. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I'm very happy as a minister because I am a part of these big changes in thinking what is the meaning of health, that the health is one of the major things for the future well-being of the whole population in the world. I'm very happy to be a part of this family and a part of WHO.
We have many achievements, but also clear challenges. In response to these challenges, across the whole spectrum of both determinants and burden of disease, what we need to do is very clear. With political will and sustained technical and professional commitment, we shall continue to make progress towards, in essence, giving health and well-being their rightful places in human development. Thank you for your attention.
Yes, this is a really wonderful overview and will remain a beautiful memory of a great regional committee session. Thanks to all who have made this possible. Now, all that remains for me is to wish all of you a safe return to your countries, to your home and families. I hope that we will have the opportunity to meet again soon. I hereby declare the 66th session of the Regional Committee for Europe closed, and it is hereby staðfest, confirmed.